Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So I thought it was time to revisit drugstore favorites. I didn't do a monthly favorites this month. I thought instead of that, I'm going to put out a few videos, just what is currently my favorite things from the drugstore. Some of these things are like favorites of all time that are still favorites. Other things are just new that I can't put down. You know, just what are my current favorites in the drugstore, what I would recommend right now, based on how I feel, to someone else. So in this video, we're going to do primers, foundations, concealers, powders, and setting sprays, like your base makeup. We're going to do that first, and then I'll have a video for lip products as well as other face. I'll have eye and lip maybe together, and then for blush, bronzer, highlight situation. I think that's what I'll do. Didn't quite think that far ahead, but I knew I wanted to do this video here. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, some of these are tried and true. We're going to start with primers. Others have come into my life a little bit later. I am going to do probably oldest to youngest. I think this beat this. I don't know. So oldest is definitely the Rimmel Stay Matte. I still recommend this primer to everyone that is oily, that wants a mattifying primer. It's so funny because this is like one of the most mattifying primers in my collection, and Emily Noel 83 just did a video recently, like this year, and talking about she tried this. She was trying this, doing a lot of stuff from Rimmel. It's like a Rimmel video, and she said this was more hydrating than she expected. And I don't necessarily agree with that. It's not super drying on the skin. It blends into the skin really nicely. But it's a strong matte primer in my opinion. But anyway, I recommend this. This is less than $5. I use them up. And so, yeah, I do recommend this. Like I said, less than $5. It gives you a nice mattified base. Your makeup will stay matte. I do a lot of obviously steps in my process when I do my makeup, but this is definitely a surefire way to get a good start. And then the NYX Pore Filler. I used to wear the NYX Pore Filler and Shine Killer together as a combo, which is still a good combo. But this Pore Filler, if you just want something, the pore part and then a mattifying primer, I like to double prime. So I would do the NYX Pore Filler and the NYX Shine Killer, but also I've done the Pore Filler with the Stay Matte. This is the small version. This is a stick version. It's like a spot style pore filler, pore blur. You can use it around your nose, forehead, wherever you want. But it does come, they have a larger primer and it does come in a tube. I can never seem to find mine. But yeah, so this definitely blurs. It feels very velvety. It's a very classic, remember those velvet silicone, heavy silicone type of primers, but this fills in the pores. It does well. It fills in the pores. And I love the spot area. So it definitely is like a little eraser almost when you're using this, especially in this stick form. And yeah, that is the NYX Pore Filler. And then one of my favorite primer combos includes two really good primers on their own, but they're even fantastic together, and that is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer and the e.l.f. Power Grip. The e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer, I like this one better than the Poreless Putty Primer. I think this NYX Pore Filler works way better than the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. The Poreless Putty Primer, the original, has a little bit of a mattifying effect, but this one is definitely, I don't mind a thicker, let me be clear, I don't mind a thicker, drier mattifying primer because I have oily skin. And my oil has done a lot better as I've gotten older. But yeah, I can still really shine. And so I don't mind that. This one is it's a putty. It's thick. It's not super thick, but it's thicker than most. And it does not leave a white cast even though it's okay. Even though it's bright white, it doesn't leave a dry cast, an ashy cast on your skin, and it is mattifying. I really think that this is this in putty form. they're pretty much the same, so I couldn't leave one out because they're really wonderful. It just depends on what kind of what do you prefer? Squeeze tube. The e.l.f. putty primer, I think this one's like $8 or something like that, so this one is cheaper, but it just depends on what you like. And again, combining it with the Power Grip, this really, a lot of people don't like the way this feels, that texture on your skin, a little sticky. I love this primer. I do see a difference in the grip of my makeup, especially in certain areas of my face. I wear glasses a lot of times, and I do an extra layer of setting powder around my nose and everything, but like where my glasses rest on my cheeks, it doesn't transfer. Certain styles and things like that, when I'm wearing this primer, it does grip the makeup, and I really enjoy this. I really enjoy. Now this doesn't really do much for like a finish. That's why I always combine it with like a mattifying primer, a poreless type of situation, because it doesn't do much for the finish of the skin. So whatever your skin looks like when you start, that's what it's going to look like. It's just going to have makeup on it. So remember, keep that in mind. That's why I like to double prime. And then this is the newest primer to the collection, and I am obsessed with it. This is the LA Girl Blurring Putty Primer. This is another like putty form, and this does the work of the combos here that I just mentioned. You know, a pore eraser as well as a mattifier. This does both of those. Even though it just says blurring, it's definitely, this is softer than the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I dig my finger in this. It is, the texture of this, it's much softer. It's like a body butter kind of texture. Thicker than a lotion, but definitely not as thick and not as dry feeling as the e.l.f. one. But it is mattifying, it is pore blurring, it is soft focus, it is very, very, very pretty. And it has no scent. I don't know why I smelled it, but it has no scent. And it's only this one shade, but it doesn't, again, look ashy or give a cast. It blends away. I have really been enjoying this. If you've watched, like, I don't know, my last 20 videos with me having this crap, been obsessed with it. So those are my favorite primers in the drugstore right now. Let's move on to foundation products. Now let me be clear, I have come across a lot of drugstore products that I love. This is currently what is top of my mind, what I'm going to recommend. So let's start with the lightest coverage. If you do want that light coverage, glowy situation, very easy in the skin tint kind of category, easy, ready to rock and roll, spring, summer kind of thing. And I recommend the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter on its own. That's why I didn't put this in the primer category. I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury one. I've tried the Juvia's Place one, and I actually really like that one. It's just that I'm still playing around with that one. I really, really like that one, and that probably can qualify to be in this video as well. But it's still really new in terms of me wearing it and trying it with things. But I know for sure this e.l.f. one, I enjoy wearing this by itself. It is glowy. It gives a significant glow to the skin. I kind of even it out a little bit with a little bit of a light mattifying powder, where it's not super matte. It's more of a natural glowy matte, demi matte kind of finish. It gives, you know, if you build it in your certain areas, it will give you, I would say, up to a medium coverage. You're not getting full coverage glam on this, but it's a beautiful, again, I put in that category of skin tint. It's a beautiful skin tint, really, really gorgeous on the skin. I shout out, again, honorable mention to the Juvia's Place. Also, well, the Juvia's Place is $25, drugstore, but it's $25, and the e.l.f. one is $14, so there you go. I do like the finish of this one on its own better than the e.l.f. Halo Glow, but if I'm again, I'm still new, still playing with this one. The e.l.f. one is still beating right now, just for price anyway. So I do recommend that. And again, like I said, I have combo to oily skin, and this works really nicely. If you want some heavier coverage, or heavier, makes it sound bad. But if you want some really good coverage in a lightweight product, I have two like dropper bottle style here. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage, and then the L'Oreal True Match Nude Serum. Oh my gosh, this favorite since I've tried it. This is going to give you a very strong medium coverage. You can build it up to be a little bit more than that, and it's wonderful, beautiful. This looks like really good flawless skin. I wore this all summer. I wore this even out in the summer, but like I do heavier coverage in the winter, in the cooler months. I've noticed now as I've gotten older, but anyway, don't matter. It is wonderful. All skin types I think would enjoy this because it's not too mattifying, it's not too dewy, it's a very natural, great skin look. Okay, I think this is like 20 bucks. I think it's like, it's up there, like $17 or $20. So like everything in the drugstore is getting high, but you'll have it for a long time, and it's absolutely beautiful. They come in, I think this one is the one, yeah. It doesn't come in as many shades as True Match. It comes in like 10 or so shades, but the shades are a little bit flexible because, like I said, they're not super full coverage. They should have some more. They should come out with more, but I'm in the shade 7-8. That's so yeah, it's like a range of the tones. And then the Catrice one is more coverage than the L'Oreal, but this is more of a full coverage foundation. I like it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Everything about it is the same as the L'Oreal. The shade is a little bit warmer. I'm the shade. Let's look at it. Caramel Beige, shade 80. This, it says, lasts up to 24 hours. I have not tested that. Mattifying and second skin effect. This is mattifying. So this is more matte than the L'Oreal one. But in terms of just being lightweight, beautiful skin, all of those things are the same. And then this, like I said, this tone is a little oranger, warmer, more orange. But I make it work. I just love the way my skin looks when I use either one of those products. And then finally, if you want full coverage, flawless, glam, matte, where we're like beautiful, I still am going to recommend the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation. This is very comparable to the Too Faced Born This Way Matte Foundation. It also is up there with the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. The Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation gives me a little bit more of an airbrush, softer airbrush look while being matte and full coverage, while this one is giving, it's more of a flat matte full coverage, and so you have to add that dimension back into your face. But it is long wearing, it is mattifying, it is not going anywhere. It is a flawless makeup look. This is not going to be your natural skin. This is just going to look like flawless makeup. Like I've explained that in many videos where there's great makeup, like, oh, her makeup looks wonderful. And then there's like, oh, her skin looks great. And the makeup makes it look like it's great skin. I know you're thinking like, well, don't we want all of our makeup to look like great skin? Full coverage is just not going to look like that. Full coverage is not going to look like great skin. But you can have full coverage makeup on and it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look, you know, that's where this comes in. It's a beautiful, flawless, full glam beat type of foundation. Okay? Beautiful. And then for concealers, all that I chose, I have two that I chose. There's a lot of great concealers out there, but I was like, what am I really reaching for right now? What do I really love? And the first one is a classic, the Maybelline Age Rewind. This is always in rotation in my shop, my stash. It's never super far away. I have so many colors of it. Skin tone shades, a little bit of brightening, super brightening. I have a really, really light shade called Ivory that I'll use to brighten up another concealer if I need to. But this gives great, strong medium buildable coverage. It's very lightweight. A lot of people don't like the sponge thing. I just deal with it. Some people take it out, but I ain't got time for all that. It works just fine for me. These are thin enough where you can use them all over the face. And you can use them, you know, brightening things. I've done that. And then they have enough coverage where you can use these where was I going with this? Like in lieu of a foundation. If you want to just use powder, I still color correct my face under pretty much everything, but this is one of the ones where they have like a brightening shade where if you don't have too much darkness or whatever, you can just use the like brightening pink. They have, like I said, a wider range of colors, but I really enjoy this concealer. It's really nice. I don't want to say it's mid range, like it's not super heavy, it's not super light. Here's the thing, I do not buy light concealers. My concealers are full coverage or maximum coverage. This one's a strong medium, can be built to a full coverage, but like I just feel like concealer, what's the point of a light sheer concealer? It's just so if you're looking for that, I don't really have any recommendations for that. But this one is really good. It's really good. And then, if you need that maximum coverage, I'm recommending the Moira Mega Concealer. I love this concealer. I'm waiting on a Moira haul, and I cannot remember if I put a concealer in there. Another shade of this. This is full coverage. This is like $7.50. You do have to order from the Moira website, but I put it in the drugstore category because it is drugstore price. This is full coverage. Easy to blend. It reminds me of a Tarte Shape Tape with a little bit more hydration in it. So maybe like the Shape Tape Creamy. That's what it reminds me of. A Shape Tape. A NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer with a boost. It is wonderful. And I have not put it down. Not put it down since I've gotten it. So, there you go. We're almost done here. Let me take a sip. For on my face today, I am wearing a new product that I will share. I said new, like I made it. The IT Cosmetics, the new CC Plus Natural Matte. Oh boy, this is good. This is good. But I have a haul coming. Hopefully I'll have a haul sometime. Whatever. I've been wearing it though. Alright, and then I have 3 powders. The first powder, unfortunately, only comes in 3 tones for my brown girls, and that's the Black Radiant Soft Focus Finishing Powder. This powder has been a favorite for so many years. So many years. And it's exactly what it says. Soft Focus Finishing Powder. Nice airbrush finish. It's not super matte. Not glowy at all. But it's a wonderful powder if you fit in the 3-shade range. It's by Black Radiance. Did I say that's by Black Radiance? So it's geared toward darker skin tones. So it's not going to be a super wide range, a super wide, but I love this powder. It is a classic, it's a classic powder, a classic pressed powder with that added soft focus element to it. It's only like $6. You can get it on Amazon. Oh my God. Or I need to wake up at 7:17 in the morning, by the way. Been up for about 2 hours. I need to wake up. You can get it on Amazon if you have a Rite Aid near you. Alright, and then the next... Let me read that. Okay, the next powder is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. I have a light shade. This is shade 20. I use this to set my under eye sometimes, but I also have my skin tone shade as well. This is a wonderful loose powder. It is a wonderful loose powder, and it's probably my favorite loose powder right now. Right now in the drugstore, like in this stage of the year, in this stage of my life right now. I'm trying to think of others. I know I have a lot of others that I like, but this one, it's wonderful. I don't need to say much. People rave about this powder. I think you should definitely try it if you're looking for a good loose powder. It comes in plenty of shades. This is 20, and that's, again, I set my under eyes with that. But I do have my skin tone as well. Yeah, highly recommend. Beautiful. It's not too, it's like the Black Radiance one, as I said, not too matte. It's not glowy at all. It is a wonderful setting powder. It gets everything locked in, and it does. It helps with the longevity of the makeup. It's not a finicky powder by any means. It can go over top of anything. So, classic powder. And then the final one, I have to shout it out, is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This powder is absolutely, this is a matte powder, and I had to put a matte powder in here because I am an oily girl and I like a matte look. And so this is one that I will use to set, I can set pretty much anything with this to give an extra level of matte. So when I am trying, and when I was playing around with the Like I was playing around with some these glowy skin tints and things like that. And if there's too much glow, I'll throw a little bit of this on. And this is a really good powder. One, it's less than $5. I have the shade Pecan 31. It comes in a few different shades. It has a translucent, obviously lighter than this. But it's very, very hardly packed. You don't get a lot. You don't get a lot when you rub your when you tap your brush into it, and I like that. This is it's going to last a long time. Where's my wax? Okay, this powder is going to last a long time because you don't need a lot. The brush does not pick up a lot, and I really like that. And so you don't need a lot to mattify, and so I just tap my brush in and tap it over my face. I've had this powder for years. I've had it for years. Used it consistently. Yeah. And again, it's less than $5. So those are the powders, and then now we have sprays. I like a lot of sprays. But the 3 setting spray, well, I have 2 setting sprays and like a fixing spray. Let's talk about them really quickly. So I gotta shut off the Moira setting sprays. These are $10, and they're wonderful. Now, they're not fixing sprays, they're not adding to the longevity, but the reason why I like these is because they smell wonderful. And they do a great job of melting everything together and setting everything together, like a MAC Fix Plus kind of thing. Yeah, so these claim to be 4-in-1, prep, prime, set, and refresh. I really just use them for setting. But you could use them as a primer spray. You could use them, again, a little refresh throughout the day. They come in wonderful scents. I have all the scents. I think it's like 4 or 5. And they're all called the Best Whatever setting spray. So this is the Camellia scent. And I like these because there's a very fine mister, a very fine set sprayer. I find that products that have this type of sprayer, like you can't unscrew this. You can't unscrew this and there's just like a thing, you know, there is a, what is this word? Tube going into the product. There is, but like this can't come off without breaking it. And I like these type of sprays because these misters, because they tend to be a finer mist. The same thing with the second spray I'm going to tell you about that does the exact same thing, that's wonderful, smells great, is the Juvia's Place one. This can't come off for me. Well, wait, no, this one can. Okay. So maybe it's just the top part, this type of mister. Can this one come off? No, the Moira one can't come off. The Juvia's Place one can. But I love both of these sprays. They set, make everything look beautiful. I will say the Juvia's Place one does help with the longevity. I've seen that. I've just used this by itself and it still did a little bit more, like, you know, makeup still looked a little fresher for longer. But then the fixing spray that I have really been enjoying, and like I've been wearing this almost every day. This is the Essence Fix and Last 18-Hour Fixing Spray. Instant, let me read. Instant matte effect and waterproof. I think that's why I like it. Most of my looks are matte anyway, so instant matte effect, I don't know, it's kind of a reach, but I stay matte. Waterproof, I don't think I've tested that. But it is a locked in, my makeup looks just as good at the end of the day as when I started. And this is $5. And I will be getting another one. Ulta's having a spring sale starting tomorrow, I believe. And I really hope Essence is in that sale. Even if it's not. It's $5. Okay. Yeah. You guys should try that. Lock it in. Lock it in. So those are my favorite drugstore products in the categories of primer, foundation, powder, and setting spray, and concealer right now. In this stage of the year, these are my favorites that I would recommend. And so stay tuned for other videos that I'm going to do regarding blush, contour, highlight, eyes, lips. Am I missing anything? No. That might be it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave it down below. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.